What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and of course, the brand new batch of level limit breaks just arriving here on Global, well, also in Japan as well, but this batch of characters is pretty freaking cool, as we get access to my man Mr. Slam Jam V1 Katakuri with his level limit break. He's actually pretty interesting, and that's what this video is all about. We're going to be talking about him, see what his buffs are, and just see what he's able to do. But this batch actually had a pretty good array of characters that got buffed. I mean, V2 Rayleigh, when you have a look at everything, including Limit Break expansion, as well as the level limit break, pretty cracked. Frankie got a lot better. There's some really nice stuff in this batch, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what they're going to be doing more in the future. But let's talk about my man Mr. Slam Jam Katakuri. The Katakuri that you are seeing here does have the expanded captain and level limit break 5, so this is as maxed as you can get him. I don't have him at level 150 in this video, but it actually didn't matter at the end of the day. But let's go ahead and talk about him. So Katakuri himself is an int striker powerhouse, and then with the level limit break and limit break expanded captain, he actually provides -1 cooldown at the start of the quest, which I love that they're doing that for all these buffed units now. Just the fact that they become a little bit easier to use in terms of reducing cooldowns and just allowing these units to be used in content and to use them faster, right? That's always useful to have. Then he boosts the attack of Striker, Slasher, Driven, Cerebral, and Powerhouse by 2.3 times. However, if a character has both of those classes, it does multiply the 2.3 into 2.3, getting you a 5.29 times attack multiplier. So it is a little confusing, and it definitely restricts him in the team building compartment, right? Because you need to ensure that you are using characters that not only, defeat the boss, get around the gimmicks, give you the sufficient boosts, but also characters that are within these class thresholds to ensure that they're boosted by Katakuri's captain. So yeah, team building for this guy is not easy, especially for high-end content for sure, but if you have an established character box, you can really abuse them in such a way so that you can clear content in such a really fun manner, because not a lot of characters clear content the way that this character does as a captain. Also within his captain, he's going to give you a 1.2 times health boost and make strength, psi, recovery, and tandem slots beneficial to the crew, as well as providing 20% damage reduction. So that's kind of cool that it's got 1.2 health and 20% damage reduction, providing lots of bulk, right? Like, you have a lot of HP. When I say a lot of HP, but you got decent HP, and you've got really good bulk, right? Really good defensive capabilities. And then there's, of course, the gimmick that was introduced with V1 Katakuri into the game. Depending on how much damage you dealt to the enemy, you can delay all enemies for 1 turn, and if you do 1.5 million damage total with your normal attacks, then it will provide a delay that goes through all immunities. Now, of course, with the introduction of his level limit break and making him go to a 5.29 times attack multiplier, reaching 1.5 million damage is not very difficult to do. You're going to be achieving that. If all 6 characters attack, even with badly matching slots, you're probably going to be reaching that, which is kind of absurd. So almost every single time you're doing a burst turn or you're just getting through a mob stage, you're going to be getting a delay, which is very, very strong. So the captain ability is very cool. However, due to the fact that he is built in such a way, a lot of people opt to not use him because he's not a fast captain, because he doesn't have like the highest multiplier in the game. He's got a useful captain, but it's not the end all be all. But of course, if you are able to take multiple turns on a boss stage, you can delay them, and then you can provide multiple different buffs because of that with his special ability. One thing I want to note though is that his special ability with expansion goes down to 9 turns, which is incredibly low for what it does. So as for what that special does, it does provide -1 cooldown to all of the characters that he boosts, Slasher, Striker, Driven, Cerebral, Powerhouse. So that's really neat that he has that. He also adds 100 times his attack as non-type damage on top of your tap timing bonuses for 3 turns. This component is definitely outdated, and I was really hoping they were going to change this to something else, but they decided to leave it in there. With Katakuri's buffed captain, this isn't really a thing that you need anymore, and due to the fact that normal attacks only is so prevalent, the tap timing bonus damage actually doesn't get added when you have normal attacks only, as it adds it as like a special damage. So unfortunately, that component of his special is kind of a waste. Furthermore though, it will change empty block, bomb, recovery, and G slots into matching, and then makes all type slots beneficial for 3 turns for the characters that he boosts, being Slasher, Striker, Driven, Cerebral, and Powerhouse. So for the next 3 turns upon activation, you have plenty of matching slots to go around, which is fantastic. I like the fact that he does have beneficial Orb Enable for 3 turns, so you can carry it over multiple different turns. You can use it in a utility sense when an enemy inflicts a bad one to you. If you carry this one into the room, you'll be able to block that, which is pretty neat. And just the fact that with his Captain ability, a lot of the times you're going to be getting matching slots anyways, but you know, even if you have a character that is unable to land a matching slot, at least that his special ability will be able to provide that. Now, it does go on to say that it will boost the attack of the characters that he boosts by 2.25 for 2 turns, and if during the turn you launch the special you land 3 perfect hits, he's going to boost damage dealt against delayed enemies by 2.25 for the next turn. So that's also pretty cool, the fact that, you know, if you take 1 turn where you get the full board of slots, you'll get your attack boost, you get your tap timing bonus damage, you do your attacks, you delay the enemy with his Captain ability, and then in the following turn, you're going to be able to get access to a delayed conditional boost. And remember that the attack boost that he launches with his special does also last for 2 turns. So realistically, you know, you take 1 turn with an attack boost, you'll get an attack boost still in that following turn, you'll get the delayed conditional, and the beneficial Orb Enable is also for 3 turns. So as long as everything goes according to plan, you'll have like multiple turns of like a burst. And you guys would have seen in that clip versus the San Juan Wolf, we actually take the first turn to do enough damage to get the delay, and then in the following turn we'll have a lot of different buffs and we can secure lots and lots of damage with Katakuri. The unfortunate thing is that it just takes time in order for it to activate. So that's the only real downside to it, is that, yeah, if you can take that 1 turn to get that delay and get the conditional boost, he's going to be hitting so hard, right? But that's the thing, is that in a lot of cases, if you take 1 turn on a boss fight, a lot of times they're going to inflict even more debuffs, even more gimmicks you have to deal with, and in a lot of cases, it's not really what you want to do. Like in this clip here versus the Garp challenge versus Hody, after you take 1 turn on the boss fight, he inflicts himself with a Rainbow Shield, so you actually have to bring an additional unit to get around the Rainbow Shield, which is why we have Fujitora on the team. So yeah, you have to find really weird and wacky ways in order to get around the gimmicks. But of course, if you are able to do it, Katakuri is a lot of fun to use. And it's just super satisfying to clear a boss in the way that this character likes to clear it. Now, of course, there's not a lot of content in the game right now, so taking the opportunity to just test him out on random pieces of content and seeing what he's able to do is a lot of fun. But I think that, you know, whenever they do release any other new content into the game, like, I don't see Katakuri being the most optimal choice for that content, of course, but, you know, Katakuri is still a lot of fun, and if you have the opportunity to use him for content, and if he's, if you just have him available at level 5, with the level limit break, and you get all the buffs, of course, you should definitely try him out because he is a lot of fun to use. But I think with all that being said, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for me. Ultimately, as I've already said, I think he's a really fun character to use. The buffs that he got were fine, but he's not going to be an optimal choice for content, unfortunately. I definitely think some of the other characters that received buffs in this batch are going to be more important moving forward, such as characters like maybe Trafalgar Law might be important moving forward, but I do think that Frankie probably was the biggest winner out of the level limit break batch. But that is going to wrap it up for me. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about V1 Katakuri, even if it was some of the old school opinions you may have had of him, and what do you think of him now? Do you think you're ever going to use him for content these days? Definitely let me know down below in the comments. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.